Sharon Stone goes dueling for dollars at the box office in The Quick and the Dead. This Western opening Friday has her gunning for revenge against a nasty sheriff. Ron Tank reports that Stone is definitely the cutest, shootest in the West.
It's difficult to put your finger on how to describe this film.
It's slightly on the edge.
It's time for another Western, but The Quick and the Dead has one big difference. Sharon Stone.
I was going out to do the gunfight, and I was really, really, really scared. I drew, the guy was hit, the blood bag blew, and he went right back off his feet, and that sense of, I'm not dead.
Stone had a right to be scared. She starred in and produced this film, so both her money and reputation are on the line. Stone's career started smoking after this famous scene in Basic Instinct, but the flame dimmed opposite Richard Gere in Intersection and nearly disappeared from view in Sliver. Even going back to Basics in The Specialist did little to keep her on that short list of Hollywood superstars. With The Quick and the Dead, Stone is in effect her own boss. She not only chose the movie, but its director, the somewhat quirky Sam Raimi.
It was a gamble. You know, Army of Darkness, a Western Sam Raimi, people kind of went, but he's good, huh?
We basically have boiled off the fat, the boredom, and the horses, and what's left in the bottom of the pan is a lot of Western melodrama, gunpowder, and dust.
Not to mention Oscar nominee Leonardo DiCaprio and Oscar winner Gene Hackman.
It's somewhat of an homage to the earlier spaghetti westerns where things were slightly bigger than life. Maybe more than slightly.
The hard part for me was keeping the gun belt because, you know, on boys' hips, they stay. On a girl's hips, if you bump it at all, if you're not smooth in your draw, the whole gun belt goes whoop.
Stone was attentive to every detail, insisting not only on quick draw lessons, but authentic guns and costumes for everyone. And while this type of movie usually attracts male viewers,
most women don't go to see Westerns.
Oh, I think they'll go to this, though, because this is really cool.
What will they like about it?
That I kick some serious butt, I think, they will like.
If she's right, expect Stone to once again be riding high. Ron Tank for CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Sandra Bullock.
A role in Speed helped speed Sandra Bullock up the ladder of success in Hollywood. Now she's climbed to new heights. Her latest film, While You Were Sleeping, kept the box office awake this weekend, nabbing the #1 spot. Lauren Hunter found out how the film's leading lady is handling her star status.
Sandra Bullock's career has definitely been on the fast track since last summer's blockbuster hit Speed. The action-adventure grossed over $120 million and made Bullock a household name. But some of the actress's earlier film roles may not be so familiar. There's Love Potion #9, featuring Bullock as you've probably not seen her before. The Thing Called Love, and yes, Bullock did her own singing. And Demolition Man, where Bullock held her own with Hollywood heavyweights. Now Bullock has traded in physical sparring for the give and take of relationships in her latest film, While You Were Sleeping. The film is an old-fashioned romantic comedy with a quirky twist. Bullock's character has fallen for her dream guy, who happens to be unconscious, while his brother, who is conscious, falls for her. Though audiences have also fallen for Bullock, the actress maintains a down-to-earth perspective on her current hot property status.
I'm learning how to enjoy myself. I'm learning how to value my free time at every moment that I have. Because before I was always so busy to get there, I let so many things slide past me. Now, every moment free, and even in work situations, I want it to be the greatest time I've just had. That's what makes this profession as great as it is. It gives you so much, and you can turn around and just use it for a tremendous amount of good. You know, it's a fun thing. We get very lucky. I'm very fortunate.
Is the actress lucky in love as well? Is it love at first or second sight that works for her?
I don't trust in things that are immediate. I don't trust that it can be like that. I trust in a gut feeling of an incredibly strong connection. But love at first sight, it's unquestioning, it's powerful, and I've never had that happen yet. So we'll see. We'll see. I might change my tune next year.
Whatever Bullock's next move, it's a good bet audiences and critics will continue to sing her praises. Lauren Hunter, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Julia Roberts.
In real life, Julia Roberts has become known for her rocky relationships. First, there was her near marriage to Kiefer Sutherland, then her recently ended marriage to Lyle Lovett. Now Roberts is involved in a rocky relationship in her new film called Something to Talk About. Cynthia Turnquist talked to the star and has this report.
In Something to Talk About, Julia Roberts plays a woman who has the perfect life in marriage, or so she thought.
She realizes upon discovering that her husband is having an affair that her life has not only become something utterly different than what she really wanted, that she's in fact become very indifferent to it. So she's forced to really stop and do something.
Did you feel that you identified with the character at all?
I can relate to finding yourself at a point in your life where you really want to do something, where you really want to sort of actively be in charge of your life.
It would seem Roberts took control of her life this past March when she announced her legal separation from hubby, country singer Lyle Lovett. Dueling work schedules and separate addresses may have contributed to the breakup. There were also tabloid rumors of infidelity.
And I think that people that our definitions of love and marriage and honor and all those things change as we get older and as we learn more about each other.
As for Roberts' career, she proved she can hold her own, appearing in 4 $100 million box office hits in 5 years, Pretty Woman, Sleeping with the Enemy, Hook, and The Pelican Brief. Yet some Hollywood wags suggest Roberts' star is falling. Her 1994 films I Love Trouble and Ready to Wear made just $40 million in combined U.S. box office sales. Industry observers see Something to Talk About and the upcoming Mary Riley as critical to her career momentum.
All I can do is good work. As far as selling tickets goes, that's completely out of my hands.
What is the most important thing for you right now?
For as busy as I've been and as harried as my schedule is and stuff, I'm very peaceful and satisfied and happy. So whatever I can do to sort of maintain that is probably the most important thing.
The 27-year-old actress attributes her contentment to maturity. Cynthia Tornquist, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Demi Moore.
And she wears the A for adultery in the classic tale, The Scarlet Letter. But she also has 2 other projects coming up. And now with more on all of that, here is Cynthia Tornquist.
A year before being cast by director Roland Joffe to star in The Scarlet Letter, Demi Moore read Nathaniel Hawthorne's novel and was so moved she planned to hire a writer to adapt it for the screen. She was not the first to do so.
I was aware that Roland was developing a script. There was another version also circulating and being worked on. So I was just waiting. Whatever came in first, it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to do the story.
Moore portrays Hester Prynne, a young wife who, upon her arrival to the New World, falls in love with a handsome minister played by Gary Oldman. When her adulterous affair is exposed, the Puritans attempt unsuccessfully to find out her lover's identity.
I wanted to be Hester Prynne. I aspire to be her. And the way in which I could do that was by playing her in the film.
By portraying Hester, Moore hoped to get in touch with the qualities which made her character dynamic. Qualities such as passion, strength, and the courage to face adversity. Moore hardly needed a film to do that. The star of such movies as Ghost, Indecent Proposal, A Few Good Men, and Disclosure has displayed those traits with her marriage to actor Bruce Willis, her willingness to do nude scenes, and her controversial Vanity Fair covers.
I look to remove the self-imposed limitations that I have. And then secondarily, I look to remove the limitations that are placed on me from outside.
Moore's determination to break through Hollywood's boundaries has paid off. She reportedly will earn $12.5 million for her upcoming film, Striptease. Her clout has also afforded her an opportunity to produce her own films, including the soon-to-be-released Now and Then. The movie is about 4 12-year-old best friends, a Stand By Me for girls.
Compare your childhood to the childhood of these girls in the film.
I didn't have the opportunity to establish that many long-term friendships as these girls do. I didn't live in one place. I mean, I went to my husband's 20-year reunion, and there were people that he was in, kindergarten with. And I have maybe one friend still from when I was actually 12.
Cynthia Tornquist, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's still early August, but school's back in session for Michelle Pfeiffer. She plays a teacher at a tough inner-city school in Dangerous Minds, opening nationwide on Friday. Dennis Michael did his homework on this blackboard jungle for the 90s.
Luann Johnson, Michelle Pfeiffer's character in Dangerous Minds, is a real person. An ex-Marine, she turned to teaching in a tough Palo Alto high school and waged a personal war to keep her students alive and learning. Her book became the basis of Dangerous Minds. Pfeiffer spent hours with the real Luann Johnson, not studying superfluous mannerisms, but rather the educator's core personality.
It was important for me to retain the integrity of who she is and the essence of who she is. And if we had to take dramatic license here and there, I always checked with her to make sure that it was something that she would have done, given, she was presented with the same set of circumstances.
It's a distance from some of her more glamorous roles, but Pfeiffer says she reveled in the fact that it was a film about something. Another reward was unexpected, the rapport she felt with the largely inexperienced young supporting cast.
They were so responsive and so open. It was actually, it completely disarmed me in the beginning because I'm not used to it. It's one thing to work with, one person who is that kind of open and vulnerable, but to look out into this sea of faces and to have 30 of them kind of looking back at you, it's pretty powerful.
Pfeiffer got involved in the film project early in development, but very nearly lost the picture because of a sudden change in her schedule.
I got pregnant, and I knew that if I didn't do it now, that the ship would sail and I wouldn't be able to do it. So I called up John and said, guess what? How do you feel about doing this tomorrow? He was kind of playing catch-up the whole way as a result of that. My fault. But the end result is we made a pretty good movie.
A movie that is about something, and a movie that she hopes will leave something valuable behind for those who see it. Dennis Michaels, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Cindy Crawford.
Earlier this week, Cindy Crawford, no stranger to the runways of Bryant Park's Fashion Week, was here to strut her stuff. And this weekend, she'll be strutting her stuff for the first time on the big screen in a new movie called Fair Game. And she talked to me about making the movie, what it was like, what she thinks people will think of it. And why don't you and I, let's take a look. Cindy Crawford is no stranger to attention, whether it's modeling, doing exercise videos, appearing on TV, or being married to actor Richard Gere. So it's a sure bet there's more to come with her acting debut in the thriller Fair Game.
I was ready to take on a new challenge and just kind of throw myself into something and to try again something that I didn't know that I would be good at.
Crawford stars with William Baldwin. She plays an attorney who is being chased by some bad guys because of a botched deal. Baldwin, a cop, comes to her aid in all kinds of ways. The twosome go from one action scene to another through almost the entire movie. You kind of just didn't let your feet get wet. I mean, you just dove in.
Yeah, I guess I didn't quite realize all of that. But also, unless I did some tiny little art film, no matter what I did, there would have been attention on it. So, I don't know, just felt like might as well just go for it.
What about film roles for you? Do you feel like they're limited?
I'm not particularly dying to play a bag lady, so I think you have to fight type a little bit, but at this point I'm willing to do the kind of, I think Julia Roberts gets good roles, and she's beautiful, and Gina Davis gets good roles, and she's beautiful. They worked around it.
Covering the beautiful Crawford in blood and mud might make the critics look beyond skin deep. Maybe.
I don't think I'm glamorous at all in the movie. I'm like bloody and bombed and torn. And
the glamour still comes through.
Oh, that's good.
So what's next for this model-turned-actress? The reviews on her work. What will they say?
Well, I'm about to find out. No, I think the main thing is that I've learned from other people who have been famous longer and more famous than me. They always said, don't let the good publicity build you up, because then the bad publicity will have the power of tearing you down.
As Cindy Crawford knows, when you're in the public eye, you're fair game.
Johnny Depp.
For movie fans hankering for suspense, Johnny Depp is coming to theaters in the nick of time. In the thriller opening nationwide on Wednesday, Depp is deputized as a killer against his will. After playing a number of offbeat characters, Sherry Sylvester reports Depp is the sanest guy in sight in this movie.
An assassination is in the air, and Johnny Depp is the one with his finger on the trigger. Randomly chosen by Christopher Walken, Depp is given the choice: kill a politician or watch his daughter die. Making Nick of Time required one astounding stunt from the actor. He got this view on the way down.
90 feet. You shake hands with a bunch of guys and say, how do you do? And then the next thing you know, they're attaching you to a wire and putting you 90 feet in the air, and then they drop you. You do leave, like, portions of your innards up there for a little while, and then they catch up.
It is his most ordinary character to date. Depp plays a dad who would put his life on the line for his daughter. He says the emotion was easy to tap into.
I got some nieces and nephews that are my life, you know. I mean, I love them more than anything in the world.
Family is important to Depp. He brought his mom to the film's premiere, but says Hollywood is rarely a topic at family get-togethers.
It's exactly the same as it has always been, you know. We get together, we laugh, we cackle like banshees, we fight, we eat, we sleep. I mean, no, they don't care about any of this stuff.
He did introduce Mom to his former co-star Martin Landau and got future co-star Robert Mitchum's autograph.
Do you feel like you have a good balance? Have you struck a good balance between your professional life and your personal life?
I've always felt like my balance was pretty good. It's just the sort of more tabloid press has their balance is a little bit off. People want to write about a trip to the grocery store or, purchasing a house or whatever, It's just, it just doesn't register for me. It just doesn't make sense.
So you've had commercial success and critical acclaim. How do you measure your success?
I'll tell you what's really great is I've had some little kids come up to me and, like really little kids, like 3 years old and 5 years old, and they'll come up and say, oh, I really like Edward Scissorhands or Benny and June or Don Juan. Even some of them came up to me and said, I like Ed Wood. I suppose that's probably the best thing.
Depp's fans, young and old, can see him in Nick of Time this weekend. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman turns evil in her newest film, To Die For. Based on a true story, the film is about a woman whose desire to be on television leads her to have her husband killed because he sort of gets in the way of her career. Sherry Dean spoke to Kidman about the role and her real-life marriage to Tom Cruise. She plays a woman who's determined to be successful, and success, as defined by Suzanne Stone, the character played by Nicole Kidman in To Die For, means being on television.
Actually, for the whole role, I spent three months preparing, which is the most I've ever spent preparing for a role. Preparing emotionally to understand why she does certain things and to try and, build the character in my psyche.
And when that character feels her career is being threatened by her marriage, she convinces a teenager who she's taken as a lover to kill her husband. Kidman's real-life marriage to Tom Cruise is totally different than her on-screen marriage.
In this business, to have a partner who is supportive and allows you to go and do what you want to do is one of the greatest gifts.
There may be just one similarity between Kidman and Suzanne, and that is determination. Kidman was so determined to play this part that she called director Gus Van Sant.
She had told me that she felt that she was destined to play the part of Suzanne Stone, and not wanting to stand in the way of destiny, I thought maybe I should give her the part.
Why did you want this part so badly? Because I'm a huge fan of black comedy, which is what this movie is. And I just thought it was one of those movies that was really different from anything I'd seen or read. And the part, there's such a scarcity of great female roles, and this was one of the great female roles.
That phone call was made when Kidman was one of 3 candidates for the role.
Was she your first choice?
At one point she wasn't, no, but she became our first choice.
The glowing reviews which Kidman has been receiving for To Die For may indeed prove that she was destined for the film. Sherry Dean, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
This is the end of the tape.